Welcome back to more Junk Jack. You'll see that my character over here is carrying a sword, and it's actually, this is like the character selection screen. And so you can see my dude from my other world when I was just kind of playing around on my own while I was deciding if I wanted to try to do Let's Play this game. But in any case, he shows you what you currently got. I'm currently carrying a sword. I am currently, left off right where we were last time. Apparently it's dark enough over in that corner that slimes can spawn. Not sure how I feel about that, but let's see if we can go kill this guy since he's here. Since he's down a block below, the big ones have trouble, I find, kind of jumping up very well. The purple ones can really kind of lunge at you pretty well, but they have kind of a hard time jumping at the right moment in order to jump up a block in a space like this, and so this is one of the places where the spear excels a whole lot, in my opinion. So we can go ahead and break him. Okay, sometimes he breaks into smaller slimes, sometimes he does not. And he dropped a bloody eye. That's another thing that I've never seen before. All right, fascinating. I'm going to add another torch down here. But the first thing I wanted to do today, something I failed to do when I was just kind of playing on my own to kind of test out the game, was to get myself off to kind of a decent start with like a good home and things. And so I'm going to craft a hoe and actually get a little farm going so that we have kind of some farming resources. And so the way that this works is I can go ahead and get the hoe on my bar, and you can just right click on grass and turn it, or dirt, I guess dirt or grass, and turn it into farmland. And then I can take things like wheat seeds and I can plant them, and over time they grow, and then I can harvest them and get some wheat and get some more seeds. And so I had that. I had the potato sprout that we found somewhere. I'm going to plant the potatoes over on the other side, try to keep my crops organized. And, oh, I did get a cactus sprout when I got the cactus meat earlier, and I failed to notice that. I don't know that there's necessarily any other things that I have to plant right at the moment that I need to grow for food. But since it does seem like I think the sky is starting to lighten up, and so I think it's going to become daytime, I'm going to go upstairs and chop down some more trees just so I have plenty of wood and can kind of craft a few more tools. And then after I've done that off camera, we'll go downstairs and try to explore a little bit more underground. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. And I think possibly a spider suffocated and died underwater over there and left me some more string. So I'm having way more luck with string in this world than the previous one. It doesn't seem to be turning daytime yet, but one other thing I wanted to show off is that another thing I can craft is a wooden chest, and it takes some nails, and so you probably have to find those in some crates early on. I'm actually going to go ahead and craft 2 chests off the bat just to show off the fact that with chests you can place them kind of like one on top of each other, and they just go like that. They don't have a ton of storage room, but this can definitely be useful for, storing away a bunch of stuff that you're not going to use. And so I'm going to put away a bunch of my inventory that I don't need to carry around with me while we're going on various adventures. All right, it's definitely turning daytime now. It seems like the skeletons... Oh, this guy dropped a healing potion, it looks like. Seems like the skeletons still burn up in the sunlight, even if they are underwater. Or, I don't know if they're necessarily burning up, or they die in the sunlight in any case and take damage, it would appear. So here are some nice things. I'll go ahead and grab those things. I picked up some more string. And I picked up, I think that's a minor healing potion. Yeah, which heals 1.5, which is more than various meats. I haven't cooked these particular meats give you, and so that's pretty cool. And the slimes, I think I don't really need to worry about them right now because they don't seem to give me anything that's too immediately useful. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to chop down some more trees while it's daytime, and then we'll head downstairs and have some more adventures. I turned all of my coal into torches, but I just discovered that you can use wood inside the furnace in order to burn things. It looks like maybe wood is only going to give me... I put 1 block of wood in there, and it looks like it's maybe only going to cook up 2 or 3 items. But that's something that I hadn't really experimented with or realized before, and so that is pretty useful. Yeah, I think we're probably going to get 3 items out of it. And I have a few more things I want to cook before we head downstairs, so I'll go ahead and throw another piece of wood in the furnace. One other thing to mention while I have some food cooking up is I managed to pick up some wool from sheep. There's also, it's not obvious, but there's a quick stack button, and so if I press this, I currently have some string and some wool in my inventory, and if I press this, basically it will just quick stack them with things that already exist, and so that's very handy in terms of managing inventory. But let me go ahead and cook up that, and cook up this, and then we'll head downstairs. I went ahead and dug a little hole down here, just kind of a staircase going down. Ooh, there's a slime who spawned down here. Hello, slime. You are a big... Are you like purple or black? I guess you're like a purple slime. Spear doesn't do a whole lot of damage, but it's definitely the easiest way to kind of like pin guys down on a square below you. Okay, he broke up into a smaller slime, and he broke up into a smaller slime, and now I got blue goo. Apparently that was blue slime. But I'd stopped digging over here because it looks like we are about to get into, yeah, some kind of giant hole. You can place blocks pretty far away from where you're standing. So I can place a block down there, for example. And I haven't figured out, sometimes it seems like you can place torches in areas that you can't see, and other times, or, you know, don't have line of sight to or whatever, and other times you can't. Not sure exactly what. I'm not sure if I've completely mentioned it, but there's a bunch of tiny critters that don't actually hurt you. You can still kill them, and I don't think they ever drop anything. But if you see those things hopping around and you don't see me reacting, it's because they're critters as opposed to enemies like these bats. That will definitely deal some damage to me unless I take them out with my sword or some other weapon. And the bats, yeah, they do this weird thing where they kind of like hover almost just out of reach. Oh, here comes slime. Crap. Okay, slime. Here comes another slime. Okay, there's slime spawning up in my base, and that's not cool. Oops, ouch. Okay. Before I forget, let's go ahead and eat a piece of food. Yum. Okay, back up to 42 health out of 50. Let's figure out where these enemies are spawning. Where's the darkest spot? I don't have exactly a good sense of, like, how far away, like, torchlight and everything goes. Oh, someone died up here and dropped a healing potion. I'm going to go ahead and run up there and grab that. But I'm also going to replace these torches just, like, a little bit closer together. Can I, like, hit it with my hand? Yeah. So that hopefully things will be more well lit. I'm going to grab a couple of drops that happened when things drowned over here, then we'll head back downstairs. So yeah, something that could be interesting to do as we get a little bit farther into the series is for me to just try to do some science. I think I mentioned the fact that the wiki doesn't always have kind of all the information on this game, or doesn't seem to be up to date. And so I've definitely discovered some useful things from reading the wiki, but I've also just been trying to figure out a number of things on my own. And so figuring out things like light levels and monster spawning and, you know, what animals can drown versus swim versus the slime seem to not drown, and what all the different possible monster drops are. Like, there's lots of things we could kind of experiment with together. That could be interesting to do because I like doing, you know, science and Minecraft exploration and tactics. Okay, slime still spawned up there. I don't have a good sense of, yeah, also with monster spawning, like exactly where and how monsters spawn. This seems to be like a white slime or something. I definitely prefer to fight him like in an area like this. He can't jump up very high, and so that's going to reduce his ability to lunge at me. And so that makes him relatively easy to fight with the sword, which still does a fair amount of damage. But yeah, there's definitely more still spawning up there, so I guess I just don't have it well lit enough. Because it's definitely been the case that I have witnessed... Oh gosh, this guy moves quickly. Ouch! Taking damage. I have it currently set on auto pause, and so when you're in your inventory, the game pauses, which makes a number of things easier, such as fighting these monsters. I go ahead and eat a little bit of food to heal up in the middle of battle. Which I definitely don't like that setting in Terraria, because it also kind of like, oh gosh, turns off some other useful things. Let's go ahead and use a minor healing potion as well. Okay, that yellow guy moves really fast. Let's see, if I jump up here, I can probably pin him down. Yeah, their jump height seems to be somewhat kind of randomized and erratic, and so getting the high ground on some of these creatures is a good way to deal with them. Man, I got a lot of goo. I feel like the monster spawn rate and drop rate are like higher. Oops, okay. Higher than I've witnessed them before, but it also, when I was playing the previous game, it seemed like the monster spawn rate actually was really high, but they would just spawn, you know, when there was a dark area on the surface, or sorry, when there was a dark area kind of like just off screen, kind of similar to Terraria, if there was an area that could spawn just off screen. And I did find that I was able to kind of craft for myself a honeypot. And so I'm going to try the same thing over here. A honeypot is basically where you create an artificial dark area where monsters can spawn. And so I think, for example, if I were to leave that like that and leave it dark and just close it up. I think a bunch of monsters will spawn in there now. We'll go explore that again in a little bit. We have another big spider down here. Spider should be relatively easy to deal with. Oh, he dropped something we haven't seen before, an insect leg, which I'm not sure what to do with it. And I've taken a little bit more damage, and so let's go ahead and, man, I'm going through my food, all my stuff really quickly. But that's good. That's the reason I took some time to get a little prepared. But basically, in my experience, occasionally there will be sounds or lights that you can see kind of underground that kind of help you discover. Okay, there's some water that we're breaking into over here. So let me do this. Let me just put down a torch so I can see it better. That will help you discover other places. Oh, something I've never shown off before yet is that there's a map. You can have kind of this level of zoom or this level of zoom. And sometimes you can actually see more things on the map, like there might be some lava down here or something that you can see. And you can kind of move around on the map in order to... It's kind of a weird acceleration thing that you use the arrow keys to scroll around. Or not the arrow keys, but WASD to scroll around on the map. I think I'd prefer to have the mouse be able to like move the map around or something. I'm just going to go under the water over here. But like I said, sometimes you can hear or see kind of enemies to kind of figure out where to go for a cave system. And other times I just, randomly dig to the left or right or down or staircase until I encounter something good. And I'm not sure how long to expect that's going to take, so I'll bring you guys back once I find something else. Okay, it looks like there's an open area over here. So let's go ahead and dig a little bit of a staircase down and then try to place a torch down here. Okay, there's one spider in there, but one spider I can definitely handle. Oops, it would help if I was facing him when I swing my sword. Yeah, and he's pretty good at hopping up to the next level, but he also kind of like stops every few steps, and so spiders are relatively easy to fight. Okay, I just picked up a bomb. Tiny bombs are throwable. You could use these to throw at enemies, and you can also use them to blow up a small number of blocks. And so, yeah, I'll kind of demonstrate. So here it is. Boom. If there had been an enemy in that square, it would have taken some damage. And obviously we just blew up a few blocks here, both in the foreground and in the background. You'll notice there's some background blocks missing over here. And so I have found that if there's like a big group of enemies kind of below your character, that throwing a bomb is sometimes an effective way to deal with multiple enemies at once. And I think actually it might be the only way that I know, other than drowning enemies underwater, it might be the only way that I know to kind of attack multiple enemies at once in this game thus far that I've discovered. But in any case, that was just a tiny little opening that wasn't too exciting. It looks like there might be something here. So let's take a look right above me. It looks like it's dark. Oh yeah, and you see this? So we see like the hit point meter of a monster. That typically means that there's a section of water under there and a monster was drowning and taking damage. Although I think there's some other possible causes of environmental damage that various monsters can take. But what I'm going to do is kind of dig myself a little staircase so I can enter this room from the side. Like so. Get a little bit more light in here. Okay, there's a chest in there that appears to contain a potion. But first let's deal with this crazy red hopping guy, who hops pretty quickly, but I managed to take him out with the sword. So hooray for that. Yeah, okay, so there's the water area that I mentioned before. I can't tell if these are just little critters that aren't going to hurt me or actual spiders I need to fight. So this is another type of crate that you'll sometimes find that has a picture of what it contains. Kind of, oh, you need a work hammer. Right, right. And so in order to open these things, you need a hammer, and I never bothered to make a hammer. And so I think I can make a stone hammer. Yeah, I'm pretty certain I can make a stone hammer. And actually, it would not hurt to have a wooden crafting table that I can carry around in case I need to kind of craft on the fly, or a workbench is what it's called in this game. So I'm going to go ahead and spend a little bit of extra wood to make an extra workbench. And then right here, I ought to be able to craft myself a stone hammer once I have the workbench. And then we can use the hammer to break this thing open and see what it contains inside. So let's get the... Where's my crafting table? Oh, I apparently just ran out of torches. Let's get a torch slot on my bar. Let's put down the crafting table. And over here, stone maul is a weapon. Stone hammer, that's what I want to make. And these things tend to last a long time because you only use them for breaking open crates, as far as I can tell. So I will just make one of them for right now. And since I happen to notice that I am out of, what do you call it, torches? Oh, except for, did I find more coal? I apparently did not find more coal. All right, so we're going to need coal in order to make some more torches. So I might have to go looking on the surface for that. But in any case, now that I have crafted the hammer, I can use the hammer, which I have selected down here, to break this open. And it contained a minor healing potion, it looks like. And so, yeah, those are things you'll sometimes find. And then the workbench, I'm fairly certain I need the hammer to break down the workbench or kind of like other furniture pieces as well. And so that's another use for the hammer, but now I can carry around the workbench in case I need to craft some more things on the fly. But I really need some coal so that I can get some more torches, that I can light some more places up. So I'm going to head back upstairs and see if I can find any more coal that's right near the surface. Sadly, back up on the surface, it appears to be nighttime out. However, one thing I did notice is that I believe my potatoes have grown. So I think I can do this to harvest them, and I get potatoes, which are usable food that I could eat, and I get a potato sprout back typically. And so I can go ahead and replant those until they grow again. The wheat is still growing over there. And I was just trying to look like kind of up on the surface if there was anywhere else that I could spot any coal in the walls, since that seems to be the current thing that I am low on. I'll take a look around on my own, but I'll bring you guys back when we're ready to do some more exploring. The other thing that I could show off is my honey pot. You'll notice there's 2 spiders, oops, and a bat who managed to glitch up through the block and get out of there. Who spawned in this tiny little area that I dug out earlier that was dark. So that does give you a sense of monster spawning rules. It seems like whenever there's a dark spot that's kind of just off screen, monsters will try to spawn there. Oh, I think it's turning light time, daytime. And so the sunlight is probably going to burn this guy up, and he'll probably turn into like some potions or something that I can go pick up, and then we can go exploring for coal on the surface and any other things that might be on the surface. I really haven't done in my other world. I spent most of my time underground, and so I haven't done a whole lot of exploring on the surface. Okay, he didn't drop anything. To discover, what, amazing things like might be out there in the world. I replanted a bunch of trees that are starting to grow, but we won't need wood for a while. And so let's do some exploring on the surface and see, like there's like a tiny bit of desert here. Like it seems like there's, I guess you'd call them biomes, but I've only noticed a couple. I guess I should be killing more animals. There's some coal. I was going to say, I guess I should be killing some animals for food. Once again, if you just heard something break, it was my stone sword. And since I had multiple stacked, I just moved on to the next one in my inventory, which is very convenient. And I think, yeah, I'm not allowed to break this block because there's a tree growing out of it. And so I'd have to break the tree first if I want to get to that dirt and that coal. And you may also notice that there is coal in the background block. Right here, and so I could dig this up in order to get some more coal. So this is good. This is going to help fuel our future torching and cooking up animals and different things. And always be on the lookout for any crates that may be kind of like embedded in the walls of the background, because it seems like the crates just kind of spawn completely randomly from what I've seen. For example, there's one right there. Speak of the devil. And so maybe we'll get an awesome recipe out of this crate. Let me just go down here, break it open. It does have a recipe. Craft note pants. Spinning wheel white pants. And so I believe this is for like the social slot on your player. I can't remember if I showed this off before. But basically, if we go to the inventory screen, here's like the armor slots, and then here's like the social slots where I have a blue shirt and brown pants. I didn't show off character creation at the beginning of this Let's Play, but you get to choose kind of, your character's hairstyle and color of the shirt and that kind of stuff. And so I think basically like you can make yourself lots of fancy clothes. The name of the game is Junk Jack, and it seems like part of that is because of the fact that there's just like tons of junk that you can accumulate in this game. I tend to be more interested in mechanics and exploring and killing bad guys than I am on kind of like the building and decorating stuff. Ooh, there's like a deer. Neat. I presume it's a friendly animal that I can like kill for venison or something. I've never seen this animal before in this game. But like I said, I haven't done much exploring above ground. He dropped some brown leather and yeah, one of the things, if I wanted to change one thing about this game right now, it would be so that it actually had like little pickup tooltips like you have in Terraria, so that when you pick up objects off the ground, it actually shows the name of the objects for a moment on the screen, because I find that it's very easy in this game. Okay, there's some more coal. It's very easy in this game to not see what are all the items that you've picked up, and so like later on in your inventory you might discover that there's crazy stuff that you didn't realize you had. Let's see, how many pieces of coal am I up to? 14 already. That'll keep me going for a while. Each piece of coal turns into 2 torches. And might as well kill all the friendly animals we see, since they just seem to respawn, and they'll give us food and some other useful things. But this is as much exploring as I've ever done kind of on the surface of the world. There's another one of those lighter colored corkwood trees, or whatever it was. And there's some more coal over here. So I'll grab this. We'll do a little bit more exploring together up on the surface. Yeah, there's some coal in the background block here. It's a little bit dark and hard to see. And so apologies if that part is hard to see. Where the coal is hiding in some of the background blocks. But as with any game, I kind of find the more you play it, the more your eyes get attuned to seeing everything that's on the screen. And so you get better at spotting what's there, just because you are familiar with the different things that you can encounter, and so you're more able to easily recognize what's there and what might be hiding. Alright, we've traveled a bit today. It looks like there's some more water over here. I'm not sure if there's an edge of the world or if the world circles around, but I feel like that's enough exploring for now. We managed to get 37 pieces of coal. There's a lot of coal that comes out of any little vein. Whenever you break a block, you get kind of multiple little lumps of coal out of it. And so I'm going to kill some more animals on the way back, but try to head back home and get ourselves prepared to head downstairs again. Ooh, there's a bunny rabbit. That's another animal I haven't seen before. So yeah, there's certain animals like the chickens and cows and pigs. Oh, and I think there's like male and female versions of like sheep and different things. And I think there's ways that you can like tame and breed animals. These are just things that I've kind of saw in passing on the wiki, but I haven't experimented with them at all in game. So yeah, like I said, I've seen this creature once before. It's like a star. It doesn't hurt me. I can't just pick it up, but I can like fight it and like kill it. I only saw this once before in my other world, and I don't know if it fell out of the sky or where it came from. And when I killed it, it didn't drop anything, but yeah, it just made like a sound. I don't think anything went in my inventory, and I don't think it like changed my player stats. There's actually, you can like click on here, and it tells you like current health, max health, blah, 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 blah. A lot of different kind of like stats about your player and different things. But I'm not sure what killing that star does. But it was a thing that was possible to do, and so of course I tried to do it. Right, I don't have torches. I can craft torches. Of course, I tried to do it in my previous world when I encountered that star thing. Gonna go ahead and craft up 20 torches. Yeah, I was planning to go back home, and then we keep encountering new things like the rabbit and the star. And there seems to be like a whole underground area over here, and so I just want to take a peek to see if it's anything amazing. Okay, there's some dark spots down there with some monsters, but nothing that seems too out of the ordinary. How about over here? Oh, I see a crate. Okay, we gotta go in here. This might be a good place for the bow and arrow or for a spear. Okay, those little rats are just critters. Okay, okay. Yeah, okay. Lots of bad guys coming at once. Okay, alright, let's try the bow and arrow. Let's try to shoot from, okay. Commentary. It's going to be not good while I'm fighting. Okay, arrows seem to do a fair amount of damage. And the fact that it's a ranged attack is definitely handy. And yeah, the fact that you can craft 30 arrows at a time with feather, so they're relatively inexpensive. Okay, this is kind of the most fighting I've ever done with a bow and arrow in order to take out a group of enemies, and that actually seemed pretty effective. Oh crap, there's still okay, there's a bat. Okay, before I die, let's eat some bacon and use a minor healing potion or two. There we go. Okay, the bat I can take out with my sword. There's some goo dropped by the slimes. And let's see what we've won. First off, in here we got a little bomb. So that's another one of those little throwing bombs. And over here, I see Stone Bricks Bridge. Stone Bricks Bridge. Okay. There are bridges. Like, I picked up some wooden bridges already. I think I have them in my inventory. I'm not sure. I think they might work like platforms in Terraria, but I haven't really experimented with them at all. But in any case, we picked up another recipe that might be useful in the future. Okay, this time I'm actually going to head back home, get a little bit more sorted, and we'll continue to do some exploring underground back near home. I made it back home just in the nick of time. It's just turning dark. At some point, as I was walking across the terrain, I kind of jumped down into some water. Something I don't know is, does water negate fall damage in this game? I could definitely imagine that it might. Gonna go ahead and quick stack away a few things that I'm carrying. But that's something that I don't know, and so that could be some interesting science to test at some point in the not-too-distant future. It seems that my crops have grown, and so once again, here, this time I got 2 potato sprouts, so we can increase the size of our potato farm. And with the wheat, I think you typically get, yeah, I got just 1 wheat seed back this time, but then I have a piece of wheat as well. And so I got some more of these things. Yeah, I need to craft up some new items before we can do any more exploring. Actually, time flies. I think this is probably a good place to go ahead and call it for an episode, but we managed to do some more exploring on the surface. I encountered a few more things that I hadn't seen before. We're continuing to kind of increase our farming, and we've done a little bit more exploring underground. And so before next time, I'll do a little bit more just to kind of get myself sorted, cook up a little bit more food, get some more tools ready to go, and we'll try to dig a little bit deeper underground next time. I hope, as always, that you guys are having a great day, and I'll see you again soon with some more Junk Jack. Bye-bye.